And this is the e-tron GT, the Performance Edition. Thanks for coming, lovely car, and that's the end of the review. So good to have you back. Okay, let's get serious then. So, the previous version of the RS e-tron GT was already a tough act to follow. It was a lovely car, lovely to drive, albeit it's expensive, but that's what you expect for a car that's full of so much engineering to make it what it is. But fast forward, we have a facelift edition, which is the new RS e-tron GT. This is the Performance Edition that costs just around £170,000, so it's very expensive, but we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about the design updates, and we're going to get in the car, show you the inside as well, and actually take it on the road and see what that drives like as well. So make sure you stick around, because I'm going to be telling you the things that I like about it and the things that I don't really like about it. Let's get on with it. So first thing first, just to mention, this is the Performance Edition, like I said already, but this is also spec'd out to have everything you can have on one of these when you buy it, hence the price tag. You can go for the other versions as well that's lower on the price tag, so you probably don't need this one because this is super fast. You're talking 0 to 62 in 2.5 seconds in boost mode. Talking about the design, they've updated the front as well. So this is a facelift, so you will notice the new Audi badge on the front as well. This is very low. Look, you can just about fit my trainers underneath here, but there's a trick to that because this actually raises up higher as well when you get in the car. We'll talk about that active suspension when we drive on the road. But what you notice on the design is they've changed this area here. So you notice this forged carbon area here, which looks really nice. This big intake here as well looks really lovely. It just makes it look a bit more bold and makes it look a bit sportier, I would say. Brings it up to date a little bit without deviating too much away from the DNA when it comes to the design language. I also love that this is just nice and low. I just love how it looks as well. I don't love this bit too much in terms of all the ADAS system area here. I think it could be tidier, but there aren't that many cars that you can have that on that it still looks good on it. This kind of suits it in a way. I'll let you decide what you think about that. The headlights are still there, which displays different animations and stuff like that. They're very bright as well. And also you can change the pattern, I think, on these, and it adapts as well to the roads ahead of you. But other than that, they haven't changed much when you look at it. Over on the side, you'll notice a new alloy design as well. I love the look of it. We've got big ceramic brakes there, that big brake caliper there as well with Audi RS logo on it. It looks really good. This is 21-inch, so big tires. They're very wide as well. The car in general is very wide, which you probably know about from the previous edition as well. So do check out the review for that, because we actually had the previous one, the carbon Vorsprung edition, on long-termer, which meant I just got to know the car very well. And then you have the charger here as well. So if I just press that, we have two charging ports on either side. So we have the home charger here. So this one doesn't have the CCS fast charge on this side, but on the other side, you have that. One of the things I love about this update is the fact that it's faster. It's got longer range as well now. It's got faster charge as well. It just has a lot going on for it, which they've improved all the nitty-gritty of some of the stuff that I've complained about, or many people have complained about the previous edition, but there's still some bits that they haven't changed, but we'll talk about that. I love the wing mirror as well. It's got that forged carbon finishing on this. This is the progressive red color as well, which looks fantastic. You got this big side curtain here as well, again, allowing that for that drag coefficient. I think it's about 0.26 or something like that. I'll leave the right number on the screen, but I know that it's quite ridiculous when I saw that number on how aerodynamic this actually is. One thing that Audi are doing now as well is naming their cars on this B pillar. So you will see Audi RS e-tron GT printed on the side there. One thing that would have been lovely if they had a recessed door handle on this. That would have been really nice, but that's not a big issue. It's still very aerodynamic. You can just see the low center of gravity of this thing. Look how low it is. And then we have this back here that just sweeps lower. It's just really nice and compact as you come to the back. And then you got big shoulders on this as well. It just looks really beefy and henched as well. That low part there affects the headroom in the back, but we'll talk about that again when we get inside. On the roof, we have full carbon on here. Looks really good. Matches this progressive red color. Again, nice wheels on the back. And then we look towards the back here. We got the lights that just wraps around the back here. Looks really good as well. I love this arrow. Just this pattern on this LED strip looks really good there. And then over on the back, we have the e-tron GT logo on there, as always, RS badge on there as well. That's looking really good, matches the color of the car. But what you notice, the standout update here is this lower diffuser here. We've got this sort of racing lights here that looks really good. You got this big cutout on the back, again, finished some parts of it finished in a forged carbon finishing. Looks really good, suits the car very well, adds to the premium sporty element of the car. And then before we get in the boot, we also have a fully deployable spoiler here, which would activate itself, or if you want to do it manually, you can always do that in the back. And then if we open the boot, nothing's changed much here either. It's still 350 litres of boot space. The boot opening is still the same. It goes deep inside in the back as well. So if you want to shove things in, you can go further in. So for example, this is our tripod bag. You can see at first, you probably couldn't tell how long this is, but you can see how far back it goes in. You can shove things all the way in there, and you can still lift this part up as well to store your charging cable if you want to do that. And also there's still a frunk here available on the front, so no problem there. Nothing's changed much in terms of the space that you get. So as you can see back here, nothing's changed much really. I've replicated my sitting position as a driver on this side as well, so you can see the knee room that we get here, which is not a lot. There's tiny space as well to tuck in your feet. Again, not a lot going on there. You can barely see anyone in the middle seat. So again, this is going to be a struggle for anyone trying to sit here. Got your climate control over there. You got heated seats on the back. I love the pattern and just the design of the seat though. It looks really good with the red piping, I think, or stitching rather. I think it looks really good. Other than that though, you can sit comfortably well. It's not too high up, it's not too low. I think it's pretty good in that sense. Headroom is okay, even for that sloped back that we've got is okay. It would have been nice to have a sunroof here though, to get a sense of a bigger space in the back would have been nice. We've got two USB-C ports here. We got your armrest here as always with two cup holders, which you're gonna end up sinking your elbow into if you're not too careful there. But otherwise, I think it's very premium at the back. Over in the front, we have a couple of changes here that's worth mentioning. So we get this forged carbon finishing on here. We still get the Alcantara finishing on the steering on this particular model, which is the performance with the top spec. We have head-up display. Again, we have some Alcantara finishing here. Bang & Olufsen sound system is in here with surround sound. We get a mixture of buttons on here and the touchscreen on there. Digital cockpits there as well as always. So nothing's changed in some elements of the car in some areas. On the steering as well, we get some updates here. So we have this squared off flat top, flat bottom design. RS logo at the bottom there, looks absolutely good. We got this Alcantara finishing. We also get two buttons on here, which is the boost and the RS button. We'll talk about how those function when we go on the road to drive this. We've got paddle shift there to control your energy recuperation, although you can't do one pedal driving still in this car, which is fine. It's a performance car, so it doesn't really matter when you have that or don't have that. That might affect the sort of driving experience, which I'll talk about again when we get on the road. Elsewhere, we get this 2D badge on there as well, so the new badge on the steering as well. But they've also updated this control for the media control and adaptive cruise control and all that stuff here, which I'm not a massive fan of. I prefer the old system with sort of the old school style. This one means sometimes you might accidentally press things whilst you're driving or whilst you're trying to concentrate on your performance driving and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, there's still not enough space here. You got two cup holders here, tiny little space there. The door cabin is very small as well. You can barely store anything there. And when you open this, it's a tiny little gap that I can barely fit my wallet in there and close it comfortably. So that's an issue there. The seat is very nice, very comfortable. You got side bolsters there that keeps you in place at all times. The bucket seat design, it just looks really good. I love the RS logo on the headrest as well that lights up. It's just a nice little touch that's really nice there. And then when we talk about this display here, I won't go too much into it because it's pretty much the same as the previous version. So we get things like Apple CarPlay, Android Autos there. You can go into car settings as well. This is where you can change things like your ride heights and stuff. So you can raise it, you can lower it on there. You got RS performance mode there. You can also edit your actual own mode as well. So you got driving system, you got suspension, ride height, sound profile. You can do all that stuff in the settings. If you go back to home screen, for example, we can then scroll across to things like Alexa's there for you. And in sound settings, you can change things like your treble, your bass, your surround sound level, 3D audio, subwoofer settings, and so on. For parking, you also get your park assist, which won't function the way that I'm parked right now, but you can get park assist as it was in previous edition. And you also get your 3D camera as well, so you can sort of look around the car. Again, it's a shame that the color on here doesn't match up with what's on the outside, but that's just minor detail, but it looks good. One thing that's also cool is when you get out of the car, you can see how that just raises up higher, which is pretty cool. And then I think it should work, hopefully, when we get back in and we're ready to drive. Drops lower again. ready to go. But I love the sound that it comes up with as well. It just sounds like a cat ready to just go on the hunt, which just gives it that extra feel for what this is all about. So some of the changes that they've made is not just on the outside. In fact, the nitty-gritty of the improvements that they've done is underneath, stuff that you can't see. So for example, we have a bigger battery. We're talking 105 kilowatt hour battery now. We have faster charge, so 320 kilowatts faster charge. So if you find one of those iron to charge, it will get better sustained charging experience. So you're talking 300 kilowatts on average or so. You can get those faster speeds if you go on a good day. So it doesn't really rely on the temperature as such, the way that it used to do before, which is really good. In terms of the speed, like I said, 0 to 62 in 2.5 seconds, which is insane. I think that's also in performance mode though, because it drops a little bit, I think, to like 2.8 seconds. Otherwise, in terms of the brake horsepower, we're talking 912 brake horsepower in performance mode. So it's very powerful, to say the least. It's powerful. That 0 to 62 numbers is violently fast. If you put your foot down, it just, honestly, the responsiveness is insanity, which honestly, I love it. It's not all the time that I put my foot down and do it, but when you really need to do it at roundabouts or anything like that, where you need to do a quick overtake, it comes in very handy. So you're paying £170,000 for this particular version. I think it starts from like 110,000 if you go for the lower versions. So you don't need this one really if you're gonna buy one. But if you're someone like me who has to have the best and best of everything, then this is the one that you save up and get and go purchase really. But in terms of the driving experience though, numbers aside and stuff like that, this is one of the best driving experiences that I've experienced in a car, especially an electric one for that matter. This is all-wheel drive. It's got great stability, especially around corners as well. It actually tilts into the corners, so it's almost flat. So it kind of adjusts the balance of the car to make sure that you feel like you're just driving straight. In fact, cornering doesn't apply to this car at all, in the sense that every road just feels like a straight road because it just sits flat with that low center of gravity as well, and the hydraulics just mitigates the bend or the road imbalances and stuff, the corners and all that kind of stuff. It just works really well. It just grips corners and it just fills with confidence, and it's so nimble and agile. You can just point it to where you want to go and it just goes there with zero effort at all. Honestly, whatever they've done to this car is just pure witchcraft. It's insane and it just feels nice to drive. There's barely any body roll with that mitigation of the hydraulics again. So when you're going around the corners and stuff, you don't feel like the body's rolling or any lean at all. And this car is pretty heavy as well. One thing that I do want to say though, because I was talking about the things that I love about it and the things that I don't not so much love about this car, I don't love so much about the pricing. For example, it's very expensive, but you do get what you pay for. This is very premium and a lot of performance, all the material, all the tech that you get inside this is a lot. The stuff that I love about the car, the performance, the speed, the way that it handles corners, it's just nice and comfortable. When you don't want to drive in this insane speed, you can just change the drive select mode to comfort, and it's just nice and quiet, and it's just nice and comfortable on the road as well, and it's exactly what you want in a car like this one. I do like this proportion sound. It sounds really good. It's one of the best fake sounding engine noise that you get in any car. I love it. Every time you put your foot down, you just hear it like, it just sounds really good. But that speed though, oh, that is nuts. It's insane. You almost feel like your body, the inside of your body just been left behind back there somewhere. We have to go back and find it in a second. But yeah, absolute insanity. It's just a car that I totally love, and I might sound really biased, but it's just a beautiful car. It's just a brilliant car. But let me know what you think in the comments below though. That's pretty much my experience with it. Drop a comment below if you have any questions. Drop them there as well. I'll do my best to answer those questions. But yeah, big smile on my face. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.